Hello everyone, welcome back to another art related video. It's been a minute. I recorded this like 3 or 4 weeks ago, which just shows how long it gets me to getting around to voiceovering and finishing editing stuff. Yeah, it's been easier to record like a quick cover than it is to voice over a speed paint thing. Just know that everything I'm recording is from my iPad, which is sitting on a shelf with the camera hanging off, so camera angle and quality is going to be poor, and I can't do anything about that. That is also my excuse for why my head gets in the shot a lot, is I'm not paying attention to where the camera is. I lean forward a lot. That's just what happened. These are the disclaimers at the front end of the video. I tried to edit this video the best I could, considering there were moments when I was leaning over what I was drawing so much to make sure that I got the details right. So, yeah, that was what's going on with the video stuff. And as I am editing the audio of this recording, I have realized there is a slight beeping sound throughout it, if you can hear it if you're wearing earbuds. I apologize about that. That was a thermometer going off to tell my sister that her water had boiled to a certain heat while she was making something. So if you hear the beeping, you're not going insane. It is there. Now, back to the video. In other news, like, what in the world am I doing? So, what's so special about this drawing versus any other drawing I could do? So, if you remember a few weeks ago, I was testing out painting on a sketch pad cover on a Strathmore paper cover. I just put some of the gloss, I can't even remember what it's called. Anyway, I put a surface over it and then waited for it to dry for 24 hours and then went and painted it the next day. It worked well, but there were so many layers of white paint that needed to be applied just to cover the sketchbook to where I could paint over it and not have the yellow shine through, basically. So considering the fact that it would be so wet with paint that the surface would become, all just warped from the paint, I figured I was going to use a white sheet of paper this time and paint over that. That way it's still the white surface that I wanted. And then I decided, I just decided later on to paint this sketchbook cover in white and then paste this piece of paper onto it. So, that is what I did. It worked out, thankfully. The paper is a little bit, it's not straight on there. It isn't. It looks a little warped. I didn't get it good and flat, but I'm happy with it, even if it's a little bit, wrinkly looking. So that's the process I attempted. So I covered this in the primer or whatever, and it set for quite a few days because I didn't get around to painting it. So I was sitting around one day, wanting to do artsy things, and was asking myself, what should my sketchbook cover be of, even? If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna have, something fun on the cover. So if you don't know who this is supposed to be, this is GeminiTay's Hermitcraft Season 10 skin that's like a pirate-esque. I don't know why. She's quickly becoming one of my favorite hermits. So I've been maybe I'll do a sketchbook tour one day, then you can see the amount of gems that popped up in my sketchbook. I mainly do fan art, which is why I did fan art for the cover, because that's just what I like drawing. And so I wanted to do her pirate skin. I was trying to think of something fun to do, so I was looking up references for, like, poses that were, like, you know, holding tridents and, like, little fighting stances and stuff, and I ended up landing on this one, like, a kind of jumping pose. So on the right side, I have the little mock-up in the corner, as you can see, and then I took I drew it out onto a piece of cardstock paper, separate from the sketchbook, to be my cover. I just wanted a mock-up because the amount of erasing I would have to do to get this pose right the first time would be insane, and so it was better to just go in having, like, a base to work off of or whatever. So yeah. Now to talk about, like, the paint itself, like, the whole process. So, as you can possibly tell, I am using Apple Barrel acrylic paint. Look, I don't know the quality of Apple Barrel paint. All I know is it's really cheap at Walmart, and it's what I have. Over the years, my family has accumulated so much paint over just the amount of projects we've done that have required it, and so I have a bunch of little paints, and yeah, it may not be the best paint, but it works. It works. This shows that you can do, like, art with absolutely any art supply. You don't have to have good, quality acrylic paints to make something fun that you enjoy. And since I don't know any better than this, I'm going to enjoy my Apple Barrel craft paint. Thank you very much. So, yeah, I have a lot of colors. I just, like, been trying to mix them all to make it work. There are so many colors in this one painting, drawing, hybrid thing alone. So many colors. So many palettes I had to wash. This is why I don't like paint, is because of the amount of things you have to wash. Anyway. So the approach, obviously, as you can tell, is I sketched out the drawing, I lined it with microns, and then I'm going over with paint. I don't know if this is a good way to do art projects with paint at all. I can't prove that it is. I can't prove that this is the right way you should do it. All I can say is this is the way I'm doing it, and it works for me. Might not work for you. Might work for you. I don't know. It was fun. It works for me because I like to color things in. I love coloring books. Coloring books are my favorite things. And so I think my art style, for the approach I take to drawing, tends to reflect that, is that I will draw something and then line it and then color it in that order. And typically my coloring of something, like, I color with pencils and I don't try to make it look, I don't worry about the white peeking through. I don't worry about layering. I don't care about realism. It's just a really cartoony style. It looks like a coloring book drawing. Like, that is just my style. And so I think that's kind of why I took that approach here, is, like, instinctively this is what makes sense to me. I don't know what else I would line it. I don't know how to line a character who is colored in paint. Colored in paint? Would that even be the word? Like, what terminology do you use? Anyway, this is, like, the mixed media approach, I guess I could say. I could call it that. I just tried to make sure that the lines could still be seen on the edges, and you can still see kind of the lines in the hair, but not as much so, but still there. It's still there. I didn't completely cover it, and I do like how it turned out. All things considered, like, even though the approach is different than what most people would do, I still like how it, I like how it turned out. It was fun for me. And it does make it a more relaxing process than to try to attempt it differently. So, cartoony art style will continue to live on, and even if it does not fit the status quo, I guess. But yeah. So, I may have to attempt this again. I may try to do it in my sketchbook, because I get mixed media sketchbooks for a reason. Like, I could paint in my sketchbooks, and that would actually be kind of fun. I don't know. We'll see. So, anyway, I actually just finished this sketchbook, like, a week or two ago, I guess, now. And so, I don't know if I'll do a sketchbook tour. I've never done sketchbook tours before, and I'm like, do I just wait until, like, you know, because I don't want to post something that literally nobody cares about, because, like, nobody's, like, following, like, I haven't been sharing an art journey on YouTube, so why would I randomly show a sketchbook, you know? So, I don't know. If any of you who are watching this are curious as to any of those drawings in the sketchbook, like, just say something and I might do it. I don't know. I might just randomly record art drawing stuff whenever I feel like it. I don't know. So, who knows if I will share any of the progress in my next sketchbooks, but I finished my sketchbook. At the moment, I do not have a sketchbook. I have a handmade DIY sketchbook I made a few weeks ago, but, like, that's it. I don't have a sketchbook at the moment, so maybe if I'll make a video when I first break into that sketchbook. We'll see. That's for future me to handle. Rest assured, there will more than likely be a lot of Hermitcraft fan art in there, because that's her fixation right now. For better or worse. But yeah, as is obvious, I enjoyed doing this. I liked how the trident turned out. I liked how the outfit turned out. I've been messing around with, like, how I wanted to draw Gem's skin, because her skin doesn't make it look like she has, like, a skirt or whatever, but I thought that would be a fun way to incorporate, like, a girly and feminine look to the whole pirate aesthetic. So there was one day I literally was just doodling her skin out and trying to figure out how would I incorporate this into an actual drawing. But so that was, you know, I enjoyed doing that. And I think it makes it look really cute. And skirts are fun to draw. They're fun to draw, and they're so cute. Anyway, moving on to the last topic of the fact that I'm, yes, writing the word slay at the bottom. So, if any of you kept up with Season 10, Impulse and B-Dubs have been making a cyberpunk city, and there were the walls around the city, and Impulse said that anybody and everybody should make graffiti on the walls. And so, Gem put the word slay in, like, and there were some blood splatters on it, and then there was a little Among Us dude to the side of it. And I really thought that, you know, I have all this empty space below and I need something to do with it, and so I thought, I'm gonna do that. And so I did my best attempt at lettering with paint, and I actually really like how it turned out, like, quite a lot, just with the lettering and the little blood splatters, as you will soon see. I didn't want to do the Among Us little guy, because that would just be squeezing it in, but I did enjoy doing the lettering at the bottom. It filled it out nicely, and was just a cool little, like, reference to something that I knew, you know, like, and I like referencing small little things in my drawings to whatever I'm interested in. And so not like a lot of people will catch it, but I will know the references there. And that's what's fun, is to have little homages to things. So yeah. I tried to imitate the shading of the letters as Gem did it in the build. It's not perfect, but I think all things considered, I think I did a good job with it. I'm, like, again, like I said, I'm happy with how this turned out. It wasn't, like, perfect. There are things I could have done better. And as I get more experience with using paint, as I get more experience in drawing things and proportions and angles and all that sort of stuff, these drawings are going to look better. They're not perfect, but I am happy with it right now. And I think that's what matters, is enjoying the process as it is. So I'm going to end it off here. I'm going to stop talking. There may be a few seconds of silence. So anyway, thank you all for coming out to watch this short little drawing video. And I hope to see y'all in whatever video I make next, whether cover or art video. That all said, this is Taylor, signing off.